Did you know that 80% of New Year resolutions fail by the second week of February? We've all heard this statistic by now. The generic goal-setting campaign often touted by gurus and corporations is a failure. Humans just don't work this way. But there is a surefire way we can maximise how much we achieve without setting meaningless goals that just seem to cause anxiety. In this short video, I'm going to reveal the one tweak you can make today that will make it 10 times likelier that you'll achieve the things that you set out to do. By the way, sorry about the weird hair flick going on. Lockdown is ending soon and I can promise that it's the first thing I'm going to fix. Chances are you have goals in life, whether they're written on your iCloud notes, written down on an old piece of paper, or even just in your mind. In fact, I found my old goals from when I was 14 that I'm going to read out for you. Be a millionaire by 21, own a Porsche 911 turbo convertible, and own a football team in the top 4 English football divisions. Needless to say, I haven't achieved any of these. Setting goals makes us feel productive because it's a lot easier to say you're going to do something than to actually do it. But studies have shown that setting goals to map out your future isn't the best way of actually getting what you want, because it only tells us what we want to achieve out of life, and it leaves out 2 vital things. 1, how we're going to get there. 2, what happens when we get it. Writing down that I was going to own a Porsche 911 turbo convertible gave 14-year-old me a little bit of a rush for 30 minutes. Then I probably went back to playing Minecraft and, well, doing what 14-year-old boys tend to do. But I didn't spend any time thinking about how I was going to get there, if I was acting in a way that would mean that I'd get there, and whether I actually want it. So, how should I have planned my rockstar lifestyle? Well, in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, he sets out the concept of setting identities, not goals. It's the premise that people tend to set out what they want to achieve, the outcomes, rather than who they want to become, the process. Writing down a goal makes very little impact to whether you actually get there when it's not paired with the actual process it takes. Basically, you need to create the identity you want to become, the person that achieves your goals, then aim relentlessly to act like that person day to day, moment to moment. So if your goal is to lose weight, your identity is to become the type of person who lives a healthy lifestyle. If your goal is to become a millionaire, your identity is the type of person who builds profitable e-commerce businesses, for example. If your goal was to become a writer, your identity is to be the type of person that writes every day. When I do this, I like going into detail. Don't just imagine the type of things your future self achieves. Create a picture of how they talk, what clothes they wear, what car they drive, who they're friends with, and what their day-to-day calendar looks like. Imagine you're playing Sims and creating the ideal version of yourself. You can even whip out the old Sims 4 disc if it helps. The aim is to have a deep image of who you want to become ingrained in your mind. Then visualise a day in their life for maybe a few minutes a day. When you're laying in bed before sleeping at night, this might be the best time to do it because it's when we're at our most creative. Then throughout your day, act like them, talk like they would, move your body like they would, work as hard as them. This will change your outlook from setting a goal at one point in the future to working towards it every day. We fail to realise that the big results in life, whether it's becoming a millionaire, getting that dream job, or even having a baby, they're actually just small moments in the grand scheme of life. They will only take up about 99.997% of our time. That's a completely made up figure, by the way. So although we should have our goals in mind, the majority of our time, 99.997%, should be spent on how we're going to get there, the process. This is the realisation that life isn't big meaningful moments now and again. It's a series of lots of little meaningful moments instead. These little moments are the things we see as boring, like getting up in the morning, walking to the train station, feeding the cat, or making breakfast. If we take all of these little moments and act on them as if we are the best version of ourselves, it will have 2 effects. 1, we will slowly start to become that person. Some people call it future pacing, some call it the law of attraction, and some people tell you to fake it until you make it. There's a reason these terms and phrases have become so popular over the years, because so many successful people have used it to their advantage, often without even realising there was a name for it. Steven Spielberg was an extreme example of this. He made friends with the security at Universal Studio when he was 23 years old. He would sneak in every day and use a makeshift janitor room as an office. He worked there for 2 years before anyone even noticed. Then he made Jaws, and then the rest is history. And there are so many examples of this throughout history. Why do you think that people tell office workers to dress like the job they want, not the job they have? Number 2, you will appreciate the little things in life. As we've established, the majority of life is made up of the little moments, like brushing your hair and getting out of bed. When you are working towards the ideal version of yourself, every one of these little moments can be like a game. Think back to playing Sims, but you're not just abusing the woohoo feature and drowning people in pools. Just me? You no longer just cruise through the day. Now you have to think. The gap between what you do and what you know you should be doing will make or break your goals. At the end of the day, goals are important, but they won't make you happy. They'll just make you want to chase a new goal, which is a good thing. It means that we'll never settle for mediocrity and will always be on the pursuit of progress. But it also means that no result will make you happy, because happiness isn't a destination or something that will come in the future. It can only come from feeling at peace in the present moment. And we can only do that by acting like the best version of ourselves right here, right now, whether we get that push or not. Thank you so much for watching. If you took any value at all from this video, I'd really appreciate if you could hit the like button and comment on how you set your goals. I post weekly videos on building discipline and an unbreakable mindset, often based on Stoic principles. If you're looking to improve your life in any way, then hit the subscribe button and join the community. I've also just released a free playbook to getting your life together. It takes you through the step-by-step process I use from going from anxious and lazy to fulfilled and productive. It's completely free and it's the first link in the description, so get it while you can. I also really appreciate you watching this to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.